Hi, my name is Darren from UK Pro Tile and Training. In this lesson, we're going to have a look at texture tiles. A lot of people are used to cutting a smooth tile, which is pretty straightforward, but sometimes you're going to come across a bit of a ribboned texture tile. So I have one here, and I'm just going to try and sort of put a straight edge on the top here, just so hopefully the camera can pick up. So hopefully you can see the gaps between the bottom of that tile and the texture of sort of what's going on with this particular tile. In a normal tile, which is smooth, would obviously just run the score bar wheel straight across the top there, put it down, break it, it's going to cut straight ahead. The problem is with this one, if you try and run the scoring wheel across the top of this, you're going to miss literally half of the low points, and then when you come to break it tends to shear off a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to simply show you how to cut a texture tile in half. So all I'm going to do as usual, if you don't know how to cut a tile, have a check out of one of my other YouTube videos and it shows you exactly how to sort of actually cut a tile. But this one here, I'm going to show you how to cut the textured one. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change the wheel or make sure that we've got a 6mm wheel. The trouble is with a sort of a larger wheel, like a 10mm, 22mm wheel, it's going to ride over the low points of the tile and we're going to miss all them, therefore the break's not going to happen. So make sure your wheel is always small. So all we're going to do now is we're going to pull it back as normal because we want to catch the beginning so there's no tail offs. Again, I explained this in another lesson, but what a tail off is simply just where you haven't scored the first 10mm of the tile and you get a tail off towards the end. So to avoid that happening, all we're going to do is start off 10mm inside that tile there, and we're going to pull it back. So pull it back until it falls off the end there. So what we're going to do now, we're going to pick up from that 10mm of score, and we're going to carefully run this sort of wheel, try and go up and over sort of the ripples. So just carefully up and try and just up and down. So I'm just really sort of riding the waves as I go along. So again, the whole tile is scored now. With every tile cutter, remember it is 1 inch from the top. Don't try and break it in the middle or the bottom. Always position this breaker bar or the foot that's going to press the tile down about 1 inch from the top of the actual tile cutter. And all we're going to do now is use a quick little popping method like that. So what I tend to do here is I put my fingers on there, and with that part of my wrist, I give it a quick tap, like that. So what that's going to do, it's going to send a little shock wave, the speed of that, into that sort of tile, and then the vibrations is going to sort of go down the fault line, which is actually the score line of what we've done. So you can see, pretty straightforward, and that's a pretty neat cut. Should be able to put these two bits back together, and that's how neat that cut is there. So again, had I just run it straight across the top there, I would have just caught the high points from that. You break it, it would just shear off. So again, I'll do one more for you, just so you can see it. Done again. So what we're going to do is we're going to start 10mm again, pull it backwards. That means we've guaranteed to catch the first bit, so we're not going to catch them tail offs. And then carefully just run it up over the little ridges till you get the top. Inch from the top, quick flick, and there we go again. Pretty straightforward. Now this one's not too bad. It's it's ribboned. It's not flat and smooth like this particular tile, but it has definitely a texture on the top. If it is crazy textured, there's difference between 1 or 2mm difference between the tiles, which is crazy in a tile. But sometimes you do get that. Especially if it's a real rustic looking tile, there's no tile cutter going to actually sort of get over sort of 2mm differences in height. So what you'd have to do there is you'd have to resort to the trusted angle grinder, and then literally sort of go outside, put your gloves on, your glasses, dust masks, and then you're going to switch the grinder on, and then you're just going to run that straight away up and down that tile. So I think I've done another lesson on like sort of how to do an angle grinder cut, but that's another day. But pretty much like if it's ceramic or porcelains, we're seeing that on porcelain tiles, slightly different method on porcelain. With porcelain being a vitrified tile and harder than ceramic, again, you just got to put more pressure on. So as you're scoring it, you've got to literally dig in harder to get that groove in that tile. And then it's the same process, inch from the top, quick flick down, faster, and then pass the pressure to break the tile in half. So if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel just by clicking the little button, and I'll see you on the next lesson. Thanks very much.